Hey guys, Drutter. It's August 14th, 2015, and it's time for the tomato harvest. But there isn't too much to talk about in terms of technique or tips. Picking a tomato is pretty self-explanatory, and I don't need to really talk too much about that. This video is just going to show you my results from the year and talk a little bit about the emotional side of the harvest, which I'll talk about first while you look at these Amish paste tomatoes. And we had a really good year here for weather. We had lots of sun, we had heat, we had dry conditions, so that's really good. As long as you can keep on watering your plants from the ground up, obviously, and keep them healthy. It's great for the actual plant itself not to be covered in water all the time. That just leads to mold on your plant. And these are adult plants. They're certainly mature. There's a little bit of yellowing on the ends of some of the leaves, and some of the leaves have some damage and stuff, but overall, these plants have been very healthy. A great year for gardening. It's a blurry back there because I'm in macro mode, but what a wonderful year it has been. And the harvest is an important part, but a lot of people see the harvest as the end of gardening, as the end of the project, as the end of, your year. And it's not. The year does never end. If you think about the year in terms of weather, in terms of just, don't look at it as a calendar. A calendar is just something that people have made up. Nature doesn't follow calendars. It's all about seasons. So there is no end to the year. This is no end. This is just another stage. And I'm an heirloom gardener, which means I go from these ripe tomatoes that we see here to seeds. And then the seeds go to storage over the winter, and then those seeds become seedlings in the spring, and, well, just basically like nature would do it any other way. I'm just here to help make it more efficient and to get something out of the process myself, not just learning, but food. And knowing how to make food is an incredibly useful skill. I can turn seeds into food, and I can turn food into seeds and plants, and, well, I can manage pretty much every stage of the life of a plant because I understand how plants work, and I've worked with plants and been around plants and surrounded myself with plants for so long that I understand plants, and I can take seeds and make food given a little bit of time, and well, not a lot. These are all organic tomatoes. I didn't use any fertilizers or pesticides, so you will see some blemishes on some. These are splits from rain we had a couple weeks ago. If you water very evenly, you don't usually get these splits, but sometimes nature comes along and gives you a huge dose of water you weren't expecting, so you do get some splits. You wouldn't see that in the supermarket. Nobody wants to buy a tomato that looks like that, but there's no nutritional change in that. That's just as delicious and just as nutritious as it was before. That's a cosmetic thing. There's some nice ripening ones. As you can see, the Amish paste did really well. I have a ton, literally almost a ton. It was a very good year, and a lot of them are still ripening, but we're early in the summer still here. I've never had ripe tomatoes at this early stage before, so I've got boxes and boxes and boxes of these things. So I'm going to have to look for places to get rid of some. I've already been giving some away. That's always a good thing to do as a gardener, especially when you can give people quality food like that you made yourself, and maybe even encourage them to take the seeds and use them next year if they want to try some gardening or something. Here's some more Amish paste. As you can see, these are very ripe. It's about to rain here, supposedly, for the first time in a long time, so I'm getting this video done quickly, and I'll upload it a different day. But just before the plants get all wet and ugly. It's like I said before, plants, tomato plants especially, don't enjoy warm and wet conditions at the same time. Like a jungle, they would get moldy. And I did have some problems with that earlier in the year. As you recall, there's some blank spaces over there, mostly in the Sweet 100 section, where I lost a lot of plants. But it's still been a good year for those tomatoes as well. There's some on the ground. Look at these. Look at those beauties. Look at that. So the harvest is not the end at all. The harvest is just another step. Oh wow. So I'm going to be taking seeds from this plant here. This was a really nice healthy plant. It survived the blight that we had, and it produced incredible fruit. So that's one I want to take the seeds from. The skins on these are a little bit firm. You wouldn't see or feel skins quite so chewy, I think, on Monsanto's tomatoes. I think they've bred out some of the skin's thickness to it, but there's a lot of nutrients in there, fiber. It's really good for you. So, in closing, it's been an incredible year, but it's not the end of the year. It's just a different part of the cycle. And it is a very rewarding part, absolutely. I've been known to burst into tears upon tasting the first tomato of the summer. It is very rewarding to get to that stage where you've produced food that a human can eat. And not a lot of people can say they can produce food anymore, which is disturbing to me, but it is the case. And I've done tomatoes and videos about tomatoes for a very great many years here on YouTube, since the very start of this channel. And assuming this channel continues, I will continue to do so. But that's the end of this video. I'll show you quickly the spot in the garden that is now just bare earth and some weeds, because I lost quite a few plants. But overall, it was the best year for tomatoes ever. I learned a lot once again, as I always do. And I look forward to doing it again next year. I almost forgot to show you these ones here in the greenhouse. Did them in pots, different than I normally do tomatoes. I got 4 of them in here, and each one had about 3 to 6 tomatoes. Starting to ripen. These are the black bell ones. I think they're Russian. A little different. Not bad. And out here in the side garden, I've been enjoying these and eating quite a few of them. Best year for these ones as well. Really good. I did 6 plants. As you can see, the yield is considerable. And they're really an attractive tomato once they get grown properly. Fairly large too. You can get a lot of fruit off these plants. Good luck with your harvest, guys. Talk soon.